Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, sometimes shortened to Mr. Rogers, is an American half-hour educational children's television series that was created and hosted by Fred Rogers. The series Mr. Rogers debuted on October 15, 1962 on CBC television. In 1966, Rogers moved back to the United States creating Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, later called Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, on the regional Eastern Educational Network. The U.S. national debut of the show occurred on February 19, 1968. It aired on NET and its successor PBS until August 31st, 2001. The series is aimed primarily at preschool ages 2 to 5, but it was labeled by PBS as appropriate for all ages. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood was produced by Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania public broadcaster WQED and Rogers' nonprofit production company Family Communications, previously known as Small World Enterprises prior to 1971. The company was renamed the Fred Rogers Company after Rogers' death. In May 1997, the series surpassed Captain Kangaroo as the longest-running children's television series, a record the series held until June 2003, when Sesame Street beat Mr. Rogers' record. The series could be seen in the reruns on most PBS stations until August 31st, 2007, when it began to be removed by various PBS stations and was then permanently removed from the daily syndicated schedule by PBS after August 29, 2008. 11 years after Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood concluded, PBS debuted an animated spin-off, Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood, a 50th anniversary tribute show hosted by an actor Michael Keaton, who got his first start on the show, titled Mr. Rogers, It's You I Like, premiered on PBS stations nationwide on March 6, 2008. Hello and welcome to Reviews with Whitney D. I'm Whitney D. Let's get into it, shall we? It's just my reviews. I mean, heck, I digress.
I'm Whitney.
It's exciting. Well, hello, you guys, and welcome to Reviews with Whitney D. And I am Whitney D. Um, I am just ecstatic about this particular video, and the thing is that if you are a true 90s baby, you know Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and you know the significance that it brought into your life. And I was brought to the awareness that they are actually creating a movie starring Tom Hanks that will be releasing on November 22nd. Um, and it's going to cover Mr. Rogers, Mr. Fred Rogers' life behind Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, his life, the things that he did. And I am so ecstatic about it.
Hello, neighbor. Hey, I'm looking for Fred Rogers. In here. It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Please won't you be my neighbor? Hello, neighbor. Mr. Rogers, I'm here to interview you. It is so nice to meet you. You okay? Profiling Mr. Rogers.
Boyd, please don't ruin my childhood.
This piece will be for an issue about heroes. Do you consider yourself a hero? We are trying to give the world positive ways of dealing with their feelings.
Yeah, like what?
There are many things you can do. You can play all the lowest keys on a piano at the same time. You love broken people like me. Sometimes we have to ask for help, and that's okay. I think the best thing we can do is to let people know that each one of them is precious.
Hey, Mr. Rogers! It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Please won't you be my neighbor?
That was wonderful.
When I tell you, growing up and having Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, it just was so paramount to me. I love the puppets. I love the make believe. Just going off into the fairy tale land, if you will. My favorite puppets were the cats. The cat. I want to say her name was Henrietta. Pussycat Henrietta. And then there was Lady Elaine, I want to say, or Lady, but the puppet always had like a messy face, and her voice was so cute and it was raspy, and I loved it. I loved it. And when I found out Mr. Rogers passed and the show had ended, it saddened me for sure. And now they came out with the whole Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood, and it's more appealing to the smaller. And I would get up early, early in the morning to watch it. Right before I went to school, I would get dressed, and I want to say it was like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. I remember watching it, and he just made me feel like me being me was enough, And you know how you get weird vibes from most old people trying to talk to you or whatever, but it just really came off as if he just really genuinely loved you through the TV, and he always kept his voice so laid and chill back. He made you feel comfortable and at ease and just, secure with being who you are. He always would end his program saying, I love you just the way you are. And I really, really love that. I love that show, and I hate that they don't still have it on, even in rerun, because I would love to introduce my children to Mr. Rogers. He was dope. And yeah, all of his puppets, and it was just real cool to have something and like a Mr. Rogers Neighborhood in the generation that I was growing up, because it really gave us a sense of self confidence, self esteem. And I love Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and I'm excited to see the movie that will be released on November 22nd. You guys get out to the theaters November 22nd and support this movie. I'm excited to see what it's about, and they got the right um, star, Mr. Tom Hanks, to play him. Like, come on, like spitting image. That could have been his grandfather, if not his father. Like, real dope. So I'm excited to see what the movie is going to be about. That's the video, you guys. Tell me what you think down in the comments below. Did you watch Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood? Do you have some great memories about it in your childhood, or was it before or after your time and you just like whatever? Tell me what you think down in the comments below. While you're there, please take the time to like, share, and subscribe. If you are already a subscriber, thank you so very much. If you're not, do not forget to click the subscribe button so you can be a part of the family. Either way, I want you to click that notification bell so you know every time I upload. Thank you so very much. This has been Reviews with Whitney D, and I'm Whitney D signing off. Bye.
You know, it happens so often. I walk down the street and someone 20 or 30 or 40 years old will come up to me and say, "You are Mr. Rogers, aren't you?" And then they tell me about growing up with the neighborhood and how they're passing on to the children they know what they found to be important in our television work. Like expressing their feelings through music and art and dance and sports and drama and computers and writing and and invariably we end our little time together with a hug. I'm just so proud of all of you who have grown up with us, and I know how tough it is some days to look with hope and confidence on the months and years ahead. But I would like to tell you what I often told you when you were much younger. I like you just the way you are. And what's more, I'm so grateful to you for helping the children in your life to know that you'll do everything you can to keep them safe and to help them express their feelings in ways that will bring healing in many different neighborhoods. It's such a good feeling to know that we're lifelong friends.
I digress.
Signing off. Deuces.